Okay, so this is 2.2 number 2, and this is kind of near the beginning of the assignment. I asked you to do B, so here's what B looks like. Okay, so it's asking you for exact values of the sine, cos, and tan for each angle. What you have to do for 225, I do not want, you're not just supposed to plug sine of 225 into your calculator. Okay, that's not the idea. Again, you can do that, but you're going to get a decimal. And even if you have a calculator that'll give you an exact value, the whole point is to understand how reference angles work with real angles and how trig functions mix in there as well. This is what I'm trying to teach you. I'm not trying to teach you how to plug it into your calculator. So what you need to understand is that this is the reference angle right here. That reference angle is 225 minus 180. It's the difference there, which is 45 degrees. Okay? So you should remember your 45, 45, 90 triangle. 1, 1, root 2. Here's 45 right here, right? So really, this is like 1, 1, and root 2 right here. So you figure out what your values for the reference angles are for your trig functions, and then you use the cast rule to say, okay, tan is positive and sine and cos are negative. So you go sine of 45, cos of 45, tan of 45, and then you make sine and cos negative, and those are the values for 225. So I'll continue. So sine 45 equals opposite over hypotenuse. That's 1 over root 2. You might see in your textbook the simplified version. You get rid of the root in the denominator. You get root 2 over 2. Cos of 45, same thing. Adjacent over hypotenuse. That's 1 over root 2, or root 2 over 2. Either are acceptable right now. Okay? Tan of 45 is opposite over adjacent, or y over x, right? So that's 1 over 1. Now, these are the values for the reference angles. So the cast rule says that for sine of 225, it's the same value, but it has to be negative. So there's your value for sine of 225. Okay? This value right here is the same as sine of 225, but the cast rule says that only tan is positive. Sorry, I wrote sine, I meant cos. So I have to do this as well, see? And then the cast rule says that tan is positive here, so tan of 225 is the exact same as the tan of 45. So that's how you get those values for number 2. That might have been similar to the one example that we didn't do, but you have enough information, I think, to piece that together. So again, don't just type this into your calculator and think, oh yeah, I get that, it's easy. Trying to piece this all together. So you kind of got to go the long way with these ones. Okay, so that's 2B. So yeah, if you're doing this correct, you're not using a calculator at all here for this question. You're just using your special angle triangles. You don't need your calculator. That's kind of the point.